Good morning, everybody. Good morning, morning, artsman. We're starting the stream off with a sort of, hey, draw. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a dragon next to my werewolf. God, dragon. This is because you got that book, haven't you? You started thinking, right, let's see what she can do. You're working on a dragon, right? Okay. Did I say good morning? Good morning. Dragon. Okay. I'm trying to think about how I used to draw a dragon. This is how I used to draw a dragon. I used to draw no, I'm not going to do that because it's really sort of childish. Mm, this has not got perspective in its mouth at all, but let's just imagine that we have lots of sort of flame and stuff coming out of here. Don't know how the eye goes. Let's give it like that sort of eye. I'm just doing a generic. This is a generic. This is how I would do a generic sort of. This is really bad, but you know. generic dragon body. That's a very thin leg. Scales and things, and a little creasy bit here near its body where the wing joins. There we go. Very generic dragon. Oh my god. Looks like one of those banners the knights used to carry, or a crest design. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's very sort of heraldic, isn't it? Yeah. I think the wing isn't quite right, but yeah, there we go. Werewolf and a dragon. That's not bad. That's not bad for a quick draw. I've run out of paper now, so you can't ask me to doodle. I've run out of paper. How are you? How are you? Oh no, I need my grey first, don't I? Noted, and thank you. I'm well. How are you? Yes, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I've pinned at the top of the chat something that you might have seen. That from Monday, I'm actually going to be moving my streaming time. I'm going to be moving it till 6 o'clock in the evening UK time. Strictly because I've noticed the last few weeks that I just need my morning time to be a little bit more free. And at the moment, doing the stream at 9:30 in the morning, it was working originally, but we've had a lot of things happening personally just lately, and I need my mornings to be a bit more freed up in case I need them for various things. So I just thought, right, I'm going to move the stream until the evening, when generally I don't have demands made on me. And yeah, it should just make my life a little bit easier. So I appreciate that. Obviously I won't be around in the mornings from Monday. But I will be around in the evenings, which might be a bit more accessible for some people as well, because not everyone can be around in the morning. Okay, good. I'd kind of been thinking about it for a while, to be honest, but it's I was sort of dithering about it for a couple of weeks, and then last week um, something happened, and I really could have done with having my morning being free. So I just thought, you know what, and funny enough, I was watching. I tuned in just ever so briefly to Star's stream yesterday, and she was very much talking about, funnily enough, streaming and choosing when to stream and doing what works for you and everything. And at the end of the day, it's your stream and you do what's best for you. And I was thinking, right, okay, she's absolutely right, and I need to really sort of make that decision. And I've sort of kind of been wary of making that decision, because I feel like, I started this channel with everyone knowing that I stream at 9:30 in the morning, UK time, because at the time that was what worked best for me. But now it's definitely not what works best for me, so I need to change it. So I just thought, it is my stream, and I get to. Is this the right colour? It is the burnt sienna, yes. It is my stream, and so I get to decide what works best for me to sort of curate this channel, and when I can provide content for it. And plus, I think as well, having the evening stream will help me include a bit more variety to it as well, because I do want to do some gaming, and so I think, because I want to do more variety, because obviously I do the writing as well as the art, I think instead of doing art absolutely every single day, I might do a little bit of gaming as well, because whatever takes my fancy, and trying to relax that night. So we shall see. So I'm just trying to get on these scales. There is just this red tint that is just sort of burnished in. We've all got a little bit of it. So I got absolutely bombarded this morning with stuff on like the news and social media this morning. England is going crazy about the news that there might be conscriptions for anyone aged 18 to 50. So that's not me. But I have 4 children. And it's like, that better not happen. It seems to be the hot topic of conversation anyway, that apparently our army isn't big enough, and because they seem to think that we're heading towards like a World War III situation, yeah, they're talking about conscripting anyone between the ages of 18 and 50. I thought, well, they can't have my daughter, because my daughter has celiac disease, same as me, and you can't be in the army with celiac disease. But that still leaves me with 3 sons, all of an age. I'm sure it's just the stuff that they say just to sort of get the local populace panicking and, keep the everyday people afraid and scared, because that's what the media does, isn't it? Like kids might be brilliant at playing Call of Duty or stuff like that, but it doesn't mean they're going to make good soldiers. Yeah, really, they are. I think it's just a bit of propaganda myself, but. And they're even saying, they're saying that if you refuse, you could go to prison. And it's like, I'm sorry, aren't our prisons already overflowing? I really don't think that you're going to get people to join up the way people are different from what they were in like the 1940s and the 1950s. I tried to join the army when I was out of high school and couldn't do the maths, so I never got in. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are trained soldiers in this country, and if you just conscript normal people off the street that have not had the training, they're literally gonna be cannon fodder, aren't they? And it's just like, I'm sorry, no, or you power hungry politicians and stuff, they just really need to sort themselves out, quite frankly. I don't normally get political on this channel, but I'm just sort of like, I think I've just kind of had enough of the constant sort of let's try and scare everybody. Right, I need my dark browns. No, that's walnut brown. I want the burnt umber. There we go. I don't think I ever had any desire to go in the army. I remember as a child thinking I'd make an awesome sniper, but I never wanted to be in the army. I just didn't want to have to go through basic training or anything like that. I remember my eldest brother, he went into the army cadets. And you could do like army cadet things, sort of thing. It was kind of cute. It wasn't proper army, it was almost like, I don't know what it was, to be honest. My brother Brian wanted to go into the army, but my mum refused to let him because she was like, no, I'm not having a son of mine dying. At the time it was over in Ireland because there was the whole IRA stuff was going on, and she was like, no, you're not going. I can remember there being a massive argument in the house about that. My dad was in the army. He was in a regiment called the Sherwood Foresters. which I don't think exists anymore. I think they're called something else now. And he went to Cyprus, Malaysia, Singapore, all that sort of thing. And he was involved in an accident once. He was in Malaysia, and he was driving a water truck that was carrying a lot of water, obviously. And the road that they were on was not a very good road, and somehow he overturned this truck, was involved in this accident, and suffered a head injury that caused him to have amnesia. And so when he came around in the hospital, he didn't know who he was, he didn't know his name, he didn't know anything. And the padre at the army hospital that was there had been given the task of trying to, help him with his memory and everything. And they found in his army pocket a letter from my mum, who had obviously, because they were communicating and sending letters back and forth. And so he got in touch with my mum, wrote to her and said, could you keep sending letters? Could you keep sending him information about himself to sort of try and help trigger memories, to try and help him remember who he is? And so she had to do that. And he was eventually flown back to the UK because of this injury. And she said that she used to sit by his bed, by his chair or whatever, and just sort of try and tell him who he was. And we used to joke that she missed a trick there. She really missed a trick there, because my dad had had a little bit of dodgy behaviour up to this point. And I said, you really could have reprogrammed him. You really could have reprogrammed him to be this awesome individual. But yeah, she kept to the truth. No, my dad isn't still around, I'm afraid. My dad passed in 2020 during the initial COVID pandemic. He had metastatic bowel cancer. So because of the pandemic and everything, they lived 4.5 hours away from us, and because of the pandemic, we weren't allowed to travel, and so I wasn't able to see him or visit him while he was poorly or anything, which was really, really difficult. And it was one of those. It was still really early, so before there was any vaccines, before there was any understanding of truly what we were up against, and so we were only allowed that they were limiting funerals, so you could only have 10 people go to the funeral, and so we had to really sort of pick and choose amongst the family as to who would go. So it ended up being his wife, his 4 children, my husband. None of the children could go. My mum's sister and her husband. So how was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who else was there? Oh, my eldest brother's partner and one of my other brother's partner. That was it. That was 10. So yeah. My mum's still around. My mum's in a care home now, but my mum's still around. But she's got dementia, so it's hard to talk to her about some things now because there are only certain things that she remembers. So the dragon is posted. Alright, hang on, let me go and have a look. Let me go have a little look-see. The gallery. Oh! Is that a dragon egg next to it? Because at first I thought, oh, it was a cave entrance. Then I had a look. That's a massive dragon egg compared to the size of the dragon. That must have hurt. But I really like the detail on that. I really like the detail. Oh, that's the baby dragon, right? Okay. Sorry, I thought that one had given birth to the egg, and I was just like, ooh, that must have hurt. That is so cute. I love that. I like the colours too. And I like the sort of spikes and the sort of like webbing between the spikes on the back of its head. And the patterning that you've got down the front of the throat. I really like that. That's really good. Yeah, I like that. And I like the eye as well. The eye is really good. You've got that sort of serpent eye thing going on. Ouch, yeah. Oh dear. The book talks about using lizards as a model for sketching a dragon. Yeah, I think they're just the most apt creature to identify with for that, isn't it? Lizards, crocs, reptiles. I've got my books over there, otherwise I'd go and have a look at the dragon pages just to sort of refresh myself what they say for that. Do, 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 do. Did you go to the springs the other day? You know, you said that those rainbow springs. Did you get to go the other day? Pretty much I like all the artwork in the book, like you said, gives you ideas. Oh, it so does. I love books like that where you instantly feel you've got to pick up your pen or you've got to pick up your pencil and you've just got to, I've just got to draw. I've just got to draw. You haven't been in a while, but you have boated on the Rainbow River and swam in it. Oh, yeah, it looked amazing. I was showing my daughter when I got off the stream. I was like, look at this place, just look at this place. It just looked so gorgeous. I mean, we just don't have anything like that there. We don't have that sort of water here. Any ponds or streams here are all sort of murky grey, brown, look like they've got some sort of effluent in them. So you might get the occasional brook that runs clear, but we don't get water like that. Which is quite sad. Last summer there were tubers all over the river. I can imagine. Be right back. I need to eat something. Okie dokie. It was warm enough here yesterday that I wore shorts and a tank top. Oh my god. Wow. Rub it in, why don't you? It is not that warm here. It is polo neck, jumper, winter coat, woolly hat, scarf, gloves, weather here. I just need to move this a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is getting close to the end. Right. back with your stack. Trying to think of what we're going to cook for dinner tonight. It's just really hard to pick something that everybody likes. It is not any fun, no. I always can remember as a little girl, and my mum and dad would cook, and we didn't have much money, and so my mum would try and make, food stretch. That was a well-known term in our house. Everything had to stretch. And I can remember they got a book given to them once called 1001 Ways with Mince. And it was obviously 1001 ways to use minced beef or minced pork or minced lamb or minced turkey or minced whatever to make all these different dishes. My mum and dad they weren't adventurous, so minced beef was all that they would use. They wouldn't have any other minced meat. It was always minced beef. And so they just had like this repertoire of spag bol, chili con carne, and shepherd's pie. And these things would be rotated quite a lot. But when I was a little girl, and as an adult, I do not like mashed potato. I know everybody loves mashed potato, and I am really an outlier here. But I didn't like mashed potato. I didn't particularly like minced beef. And I used to hate the fact that they would pick these meals that would stretch rather than pick meals that everybody would eat. Well, everybody else would eat. I wouldn't. Due to reasons that I found out much later when I was an adult, that I had celiac disease and should never have had half the food that I was fed. But at the time I didn't know, and so it was just considered that I was the picky eater in the family. And I can remember thinking, at least when I get to be an adult, I can choose the meals. I'll be able to pick all the things that I like, and hopefully I'll be in a financial situation where meals won't have to stretch, and that it will be such fun such fun to be able to pick your meals and plan your meals. And oh my god, it is so not. It is so not. It is to start off with for about the first couple of weeks, maybe the first month, and then after that, no. And then you start throwing other people into the mix. With food intolerances and things they don't like and things they won't have for various reasons. Oh my god, it's just it's just a drag. I think if I ever won the lottery or anything like that, I would definitely pay to have a personal chef. I think if I was able to have a member of staff in my house, it would be a real toss up between having a cleaner, because I hate housework, or having a personal chef, because I think let the chef worry about it, let them deal with it. That would be where I would spend my money. What would you do if you won a load of money and you could have a member of staff in your house to do stuff for you, whether it was a cook or a cleaner or a gardener or whatever? Oh, you take care of your folks with the money. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. See, my mum's already taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it would have to be a cook. It would so have to be a cook. Because like there's Becca and I that have celiac disease, so we have to avoid gluten in all of its forms. And gluten is stuck in every single bloody food that there is. So we avoid that. Then there's my husband Nick, who is lactose intolerant and has intolerances of certain other foods, so we have to take that into account. Then there's my youngest Jack, who is also lactose intolerant, but he is also autistic. And so there are certain foods that he will not allow to be on a plate next to one another. And it's just, there are things that my other two sons like and don't like. And so if you say, oh, we're going to have this for a meal, they go, oh, I'll just make my own, I don't want that, sort of thing. But trying to find a meal that everybody will eat, so you don't have to cook like 3 or 4 different meals every evening to satisfy everybody, is just a nightmare in my house. It's an absolute nightmare. For your mum, a good housekeeper and maybe a chef once a week. Yes, exactly. Do you eat a lot of the same foods? I try not to. I'm very much aware that I don't want to get stuck in like a food rut. I think it's very easy to get stuck in a food rut, especially in our house, because there's only certain things that people will eat. I will, every now and again, I will try and find a brand new recipe and introduce a new recipe into the rotation. And I'll always say to people, if they don't like the sound of it, I'll say, well, that's fine, but could you at least just try it? Because, you never know what you're going to like. So a few months ago, I did a paella, for the first time for the family. But instead of doing it with seafood in it, I did one with, because I know my lot don't like seafood, so I did lots of spicy sausage in there instead. I cooked a couple of things that we tried has been brought into like the rotation because everyone liked it, and one was a homemade chicken chow mein, and the other one was a chicken biryani, homemade. So slowly sort of getting people into different things. I saw a good recipe the other day for some loaded like enchiladas, and we've never really done enchiladas in our house, but obviously I would adapt the ingredients to fit what everyone in our house likes. But the other thing I've noticed, and the thing that really annoys me a lot, is over here in the UK, our oven sizes are not the same as the oven sizes in America. You see people in America make these like one pot dishes that go in the oven, or they have these baking trays, and they are massive. They are massive. They're like double the size of what we have in the UK. In the UK, we have these little ovens, hang on, that are like this size. And so by the time you've got your bacon tray in is like this size. So I would not be able to get more than, say, 5 or 6 enchiladas in one dish. So because I have 6 people in my family and they'd want more than one enchilada, I would have to do 2 trays. So that would require me rotating my trays in my oven, because for some reason no matter what oven I buy, unless stuff is on the top rack, it doesn't seem to cook properly. So you have to keep rotating trays. We do have a microwave, but again, you've got the same issue. You can only put in a certain size item, and you can only put in one at a time, because otherwise you have to really extend the cooking time. We do have an air fryer, but it's small. The tray is like you'd get one serving out of it. You won't be able to feed 6 people from a single air fryer. So it's just so annoying that I don't know why the cookers in America are so much wider than the cookers that you get in the UK. Because I think if we had your sized cookers, I would be able to cook for my family no problem. But it's the whole, oh, you got to rotate the trays, you got stuff going on all these different hobs on the top. It's just a pain in the butt. Where's my personal chef? Yeah, I really do need to start playing the lottery. I mean, I keep saying, oh, when I win the lottery, but I don't actually play the lottery, so maybe I should. Do you have Thanksgiving? No, we don't do Thanksgiving in our country at all. We just do Christmas. Oh, wrong one, wrong way. Is there a way to buy a bigger oven over there? It depends what sort of space you've got in your kitchen. Some people only have the space for like a single 4-ringed hob. Our kitchen has actually got a range in it, so we've got 8 rings on our hob, but it's underneath it's one small grill on one side, a warming drawer, and then on the other side is the oven and another smaller oven underneath that. So it's tiny oven, grill, warming drawer. And even though it's an 8-ringed range, so it would have been better maybe for them to just give me one big oven, but no, that's not how they seem to do it over here. I mean, you should see us trying to cook a Christmas dinner or a Sunday roast. Is like um, we'll put the joint of meat into the oven, and we'll maybe put sausages on a tray above that, but the sausages have to come out halfway through and then they get put in the warmer drawer to make room for moving the meat down once the meat has cooked, to then sort of put the roast potatoes in. But because there's six of us, we have to have two trays of roast potatoes, so we have to rotate the trays to make them both cook equally, and it's just a lot of faff. There's lots of faff, there's a lot of moving, there's lots of covering things in foil and putting them in the warmer, sort of keep them warm, because there just isn't room to cook it all at the same time, so it's all ready at the same time. You literally have to take bits out and keep it warm, or cook ahead of time and keep those warm while you then cook other bits, just literally because the oven isn't big enough. And it's just, I don't know why we're like this in the UK. I don't know why we're like this. I'm sure lots of people do that. I don't know, I'm moaning about stuff that probably everyone does, and they're just like, this is normal, what are you going on about? I just think we'd have an easier time of it if we had American style ovens. Like, you have those big um like fridges and freezers, and they're absolutely massive, but we're starting to get those in this country. You know, with like the ice maker in the door and things like that. And it's, but most people, I would say, at the run of the mill everyday person that you would meet on the street has just got a standard fridge at the top, freezer at the bottom, maybe 3 drawers in each. I don't know, I'm probably moaning about stuff that don't need to be moaned about. I want a new kitchen. I actually would love a new kitchen, but won't get one of those unless I do win the lottery. So must start playing the lottery. We have a fridge. We have a fridge in the kitchen and an old one in the garage. I think my husband would like to get one of those big chest freezers, because like the freezer that we have is like, it's 3 small drawers, and he keeps going on about he would like one of those really big chest freezers that he could keep somewhere else in the house, but we don't have room. It's all these dreams for these things, we just don't have room for them. down to the leg. We are down to the leg. Oh my gosh. It is what it is. Yeah, yeah, it is. Oh, can hear the dogs barking downstairs. Do you know, I think there is someone who walks past our house at about, I don't know, about 7:45 in the morning, something like that, because every morning when I get up, I let the dogs into the lounge after they've had their breakfast and they've been out to toilet and things like that. And Rosie jumps up into the window and looks out onto the street, and you can guarantee every single morning that she will go absolutely mental at something that walks past our house. Every morning, without fail. I used to sort of get annoyed because I used to think, oh, she's going to wake everyone else up in the house, sort of thing, or frighten the person who's outside. And I used to go, Rosie, get down, get down. But I've got to the point now where I'm just like, it happens every single morning. And I really can't be bothered to get upset about it anymore. But I've never looked out the window to see what it is. I'm sure it's someone with like a dog or something goes walking past every day, and Rosie does not like it. My God, look at that. There's going to be a leg. There's going to be a leg. Oh my God. Croc is doing quite well. There needs just to be a little bit of red there. Right. That is where I'm going to leave it today. Yeah, we do have a walker, and I really ought to look, but usually at that time of the morning I've just sat down on the couch with my cup of tea, with my breakfast, and I'm just like, no. I really ought to just open the curtains and just have a look, but there we are. Alrighty, so yes, thanks for joining me today, guys. We've probably got one more session on this, and then this will be done. So probably tomorrow, I will get this finished, and then Monday we will have to have a brand new start of something, a brand new time at 6 p.m. from Mondays, and a brand new start. It could be art, it could be a game, it could be writing, it could be anything I choose it to be, but we shall see. I will try and get some sort of routine worked out of what I want each day to be, but the art will always be here. So yes, so have a good day. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9:30. So take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.